Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, now whether you are a beginner to calisthenics or you're thinking about starting but you're just not sure, what you're going to need to know and what you're going to quickly find out is that you will need to learn how to do a push-up. Okay, so what I want to let you know is all of these 5 exercises do target your whole upper body. They target your whole arm. However, each one has a specific muscle that it will primarily target, and I want to go through that with you and explain that to you today. Now, these are beginner friendly exercises. I know you might be thinking push-ups are not beginner friendly. Well, yeah, it's something that is learned. However, these are all modifiable, okay, and I'm going to show you that in this tutorial. Alright, so let's get started, and what better exercise to start with than the standard push-up. Okay, so with the standard push-up, you've obviously got your hands facing in a forward-facing position. And this really is going to target your whole arm as well as your shoulder. So it puts a lot of focus on your shoulder and your chest muscles. So with this, when you're pushing up, focus on contracting your scapula, okay? Instead of pushing up and staying like this, you want to do this movement, okay? So don't do this. Okay, so that's just using my chest and I'm letting my hips swing downwards. Instead, see how I contracted my scapula? It makes it harder, but believe me, it will make you so much stronger in your scapula and your shoulders by doing that, all right? So that's your standard push-up. Now, of course, you can modify that, make it easier. If you're a beginner, it's likely you'll be wanting to do it in this position. So just place your knees on the ground. I like to cross my feet over. You don't have to, you can just have them like this. Okay, and down. Squeeze your glutes. Don't let this sink and don't let your hips rise. Okay, keep them in a nice straight line. And push. Okay, so that was push-up number 1, the standard push-up. Okay, push-up number 2 is the wide grip push-up, and this will really focus on your chest. Personally, I find it the easiest push-up to do, and I'll admit that I include this a lot. Often when I'm having a day that I can't be bothered working out. It's a bad way of thinking, but I do it. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the standard push-up, but you've got a wide grip. So you want your hands to be wider than your shoulders. Alright, and exactly the same technique as before. Squeeze your glutes and down. Now what I should have said is when you do a push-up, it will be harder again, but don't let your elbows go out to the side when you're coming down. Okay, you really want to keep them as close to your body as possible. It will for sure make it harder, and you may find that you can't push yourself up by doing that. That's fine, don't worry about it. Just do as many reps as you can with that technique, and believe me, you'll get stronger, and you'll get stronger much faster than if you're to try and push out lots and lots of reps of pushing your elbows out in bad technique to make it easier for you. Just avoid doing that, because you're going to make it so much tougher and you're going to end up backtracking anyway and wondering why you're not progressing. Okay, so the wide grip push-up. Okay, my favourite. Okay, push-up number 3 is the diamond push-up. Now this one really targets your triceps, so the whole flabby arm movement. Okay, so this sort of exercise is really going to help you tighten the muscles here, which are your triceps, and yeah. So again, technique exactly the same. I'll do it in the modified version. You want to have your hands like this. Now, you don't have to have them like that. You can just have them very close together. But I find it really emphasizes my triceps if I have this position as opposed to this position. Squeeze your glutes, keep everything tight. And now, of course, in that position, your elbows are going to go out to the side. Okay, so I really feel a lot of emphasis on this muscle here, okay, which is exactly what we want. All right, so exercise number 3 is the diamond push-up. Okay, push-up number 4 is the reverse grip push-up. Now, this one is going to really work your biceps. Okay, so instead of having your hands like this, you're going to have them turned slightly backwards like that. Now, this is something that I found very awkward to do to begin with. It's something that you're going to take a little bit of time to get used to, and especially if you aren't that strong in the arms to begin with. Again, modify it by putting your knees on the ground, or if you feel you're strong enough, take them off. Arms slightly back. Now they're about shoulder width apart. Now you want to try and keep, instead of letting your elbows go too much out the side, try and let them go backwards, almost sliding against the side of your body. Okay, and for the slightly more advanced version, again, contracting your scapula as you come up. That contraction movement is something that I found really difficult to get used to because I'm an ex-dancer, ballet dancer, and the technique with ballet is, if you've seen ballet or you know anything about it, it's very, very strong technique where your shoulders are back, your shoulders are down, everything is under. This is like a massive no-no. All right, so it was very difficult for me to go from training myself with ballet technique, my ballet foundation, to doing this, which just felt so wrong. Okay guys, 5th exercise and the last one for this video is the pike push-up. Now you can do this exercise with your feet elevated. I mean, in fact, you can do any of these exercises with your feet elevated. It's going to just advance it to the next level again and make it that little bit harder for you. Okay, so this one is really working your shoulders. The main emphasis is on your shoulder muscles. So this is slightly different. Okay, you're not in a normal push-up position, you're in pike, hands shoulder width apart. Now really suck, like you want to really, as though there's a string drawing you to the ceiling, push back on your legs and come down. Okay, the aim of this is to try and sort of get your head and shoulders over your hands sort of as much as possible. So you could do this, which is great, and it's still working your shoulders, believe me, don't worry about that. But then to advance it further and to put even more emphasis on your shoulders, going forward even further. So you can see how you can really progress with this exercise. Now, a way to modify that to make it easier for beginners is, if you can't push back up, just do the regression, which means just the downward part and then drop your knees, okay? And just do that over and over again until you feel you're strong enough to push yourself back up. The last thing I want is for you falling on your head and hurting yourself. All right, so it's absolutely fine if you cannot push yourself back up. So down, even just hold it for a few seconds. Holding that position as much as you can is really going to help build your strength as well. Okay, so just a wee recap of what we've just been through. We had this standard push-up, which really targets your entire arm and chest. We had the wide grip push-up, which puts a lot of emphasis on your chest. We had the diamond push-up, which is your triceps. The reverse push-up, which is your biceps. And we had the pike push-up, which a lot of emphasis on your shoulders. Okay, as I said, all of those exercises will work your entire upper body and core, will actually work your legs too. You're having to really contract everything, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs. So that's the beauty of calisthenics and I guess body weight training, because it forces you to use every single muscle rather than just standing there lifting weights and you're contracting your biceps or something, but the rest kind of isn't working. With calisthenics, you're forced to hold your own body weight, which I think is why people progress fast and why people see such good results so quickly. Okay, there you go guys. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. There are so many different types of push-ups you can do. A lot of the other ones are sort of in the more advanced stages, but they are 5 beginner style push-ups for you to do. Now, when I say beginner, people at the most advanced levels are still doing these core exercises when it comes to training, bodyweight training. The key is to be consistent with it and to make sure you're doing the right technique. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Subscribe to me to stay updated with my content. I post very regularly. I've got some freebies in the description there for you that you might like to check out. And we'll see you next time.